welcome everybody to the Roll of the Dice podcast with Luke.
And Ben.
And it is almost the first month completed of the new year, which is kind of mad, because this month has gone by hella quickly for me. I don't know about you.
I'm not gonna lie, I think it's like just dragged on and on and on with so many bad things, one after the other.
Oh, clearly we've had different months.
Well, I'm like thinking news related, like with Australia.
Oh yeah, God. Oh, what a nightmare.
Like, it seems that Australia has had the worst start in the history of everything ever.
Yeah, like, as decades go, not the greatest start, I'm gonna be honest.
No.
No.
Although things are starting to look up for them, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I follow a lot of, like, Australians on, like, Twitter and Facebook and stuff, and I read, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, that there was some rain in parts of southern Australia that had sort of been counteracting a lot of the fires, but they're still, like, ongoing in a lot of, like, the more northern territories, I think.
Yeah, the weather's starting to turn, and I think I've seen, like, pictures and articles of stuff that's, like, the plant life is growing back.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. It was, oh no, I saw it on Reddit, actually. There was a picture that was like a side-by-side comparison to an episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender, where, you know, in that episode, like, an entire forest gets decimated and then shit starts growing back. And then, like, it's a side-by-side of Australia right now, and it's more or less the same thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a very, like, cool moment, and I was just like, this is why I love Avatar: The Last Airbender, because it's really good. Side note, anyone who's listening to this who hasn't watched it, go and watch it now. It's incredible.
The cartoon series, not the horrific...
Yeah. I forget that I have to add that caveat for some people, because some people are lunatics.
I'm surprised the Simpsons haven't, in all their power, forecasted this.
Fucking hell. I was reading an article, again, on Reddit. I've spent a lot of time on Reddit the last few weeks. I was reading an article on Reddit about how, like, the Simpsons have predicted, like, so many things that have happened. Like, Donald Trump becoming president. Oh, wow.
Already starting off the mind flare?
This is an early mind flare. God damn.
Jeez.
There we go. Early on in the episode, we have a mind flare. There it is, everyone. Sirens. Pew, 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 pew. No, it was like Donald Trump becoming president. There being, like, a sequel trilogy to Star Wars. Like, all this stuff that The Simpsons have predicted. Fun fact about The Simpsons, I have never watched it.
Yeah, which is an absolute atrocity.
Yeah, I call myself a nerd, and yet I have never seen an episode of The Simpsons. Here's the thing, right? The Simpsons is that show that if you're born in, like, the 80s, 90s, or early 2000s, like, you'd watch it in, like, early morning cartoons or the sort of afternoon cartoons after school. But in that time, I was filling my time with other cartoons and anime and all the other stuff I did after school or before school.
Yeah, it was...
Also, in South Africa, The Simpsons was never really a thing. Or if it was, I was never allowed to watch it when I was younger.
It's not?
Not really. I don't think so.
Okay, because when I was younger, it was always on. I think it was Channel 4 at 6 o'clock, and it was back during the time where, like, Netflix and, like, on demand, like, TV things wasn't around, so you had to be at home on the right channel to catch up with it, and it was almost like a geographical event that everywhere would be silent because everyone's inside watching The Simpsons.
That's wild. It's crazy to think how in the last 10-15 years the difference in, like, consuming media has, like, it's how it's changed.
Yeah, how far
you wouldn't do that.
Come.
Yeah, you wouldn't do that now. Like, you wouldn't, like, even if there are things that have, like, dedicated time slots on TV, catch up exists.
Yeah,
like, for pretty much every major company has a catch up service. BBC, ITV, Channel 4, Netflix, you know, the lot. They all have a catch-up service. So even if you miss stuff, you can
always,
there's no, like, having a dedicated time slot. Because I know, like, prime time used to be like a big thing for TV like Doctor Who always had Sunday night 8 o'clock, and it was like prime time viewing.
Yeah.
Before catch up. Now it's just like, okay, well, I missed Doctor Who on Sunday. I'll just watch it sometime in this week on iPlayer. Like, and it's not even vaguely as big a deal anymore.
But then saying that, I think it's less social that way, because you could have like TV parties, get people around to watch, like, I don't know, Coronation Street or Simpsons or whatever at whatever time it would be showing. Now it's like
no, go on.
Now it's like a bit depressing, like having like the ultimate convenience at your fingertips means that you don't have to organise to do anything at any time, because you can do it at any time. You can watch this anytime, anywhere.
I think it depends on how you prefer to watch stuff, I think. Because, I mean, for me, it's not depressing at all, because it's how I prefer to consume. I could prefer to watch stuff on my own anyway. So, like, I don't...
Yeah, but if you know there's other people, if you've got friends who enjoy the same series that you're watching as well, it could be more fun to, like, get together and do a thing, like watch the series together. But I suppose convenience is the overriding, like, mechanism. Like, if it's not convenient for the both of you, then you might as well just catch it on demand.
Yeah. I think it's just, like, it's a lot more difficult these days to sort of get people together to watch something.
Yeah.
With, like, there's just a lot going on at the minute, so it's not as laid back as it used to be, where you could just be like, do you want to come around and watch series 1 of whatever? Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, people now are just like, have you caught up on X? And then if the answer is yes, you'll have like a long conversation about it. Or if the answer is no, you'll be like, all right, cool, I'll wait. And then, you know, or they'll just like, oh, I'm not interested in that, and be like, okay, well, you're a heathen. But hashtag The Witcher.
I still need to watch it.
Yeah, you fucking do, because I want to talk about it, my guy. I want to talk about it so bad.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, I've not progressed since last time we talked.
Yeah, I didn't think you had.
No.
Well, that can just cross that off of my notes. That's that question. Oops. Okay, so today we're doing something a little bit different, aren't we, Ben?
We are. You came up with this idea. Do you want to elaborate? Tell the wonderful audience?
All right, cool. So here's what we're going to do, right? This podcast's name is The Roll of the Dice. So we each came up with 3 topics for a sum total of 6. And what we're going to do each week is roll a 6-sided dice. And whatever number it lands on corresponds to that topic that we'll talk about that week. And it's just a nice little, you know, randomizing feature, a nice little fun little bit that we're going to do. So I have my 3 topics. I was thinking if we just assign, like, our sort of... So I've got mine 1 to 3. If we just assign, like, yours 1, mine 2, yours 3, just to make it as random as possible.
Okay.
So I've got my 3. So yours will be 1, mine 2, yours 3, mine 4, yours 5, mine 6. And I have my D6 ready to go.
I'm 1, 3, and...
You're 1, 3, 5. I'm 2, 4, 6.
Okay.
Alright. 3, 2, 1, roll. That is a 1.
Okay, so my number 1 topic is video game delays.
Oh, I literally have that as my number 1. I shit you not. I am not joking.
Oh, brill, because that's my weakest of all my topics.
Oh my god, that is incredible. That is actually wild that we're on the same page like that. Hang on, I need to send you this.
Are you sending me photographic evidence?
Yeah, I actually am. I just sent you a picture of my notes. That's incredible. I'd like to preface this with, this was not pre-planned. That was totally legit. Like, that is wild that we're on the same wavelength like that. Okay, so there have been a lot of delay announcements over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. So my top two that I've heard of or noticed is Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
2032, whatever it is.
2077, you fucking goofers.
But yeah, that's pushed back until like mid-September or something, rather than, what was it, April? Yeah. April this year?
Yeah, it was April, May, something like that. I will say this, though. I was talking about this with someone, and the amount of, like, top, like, triple S tier titles coming around in that period, I think it's actually a really good move on their part. Not only because, you know, they want to finish their game, obviously, and they want it to be a complete experience, EA, and not only because of that, but, like, I think from a marketing strategy, like, you don't want to saturate a market that is going to be popularized by all of these super high-end titles and like DLCs and shit that are coming out over in that period. So like, okay, that's all then to maximize our sort of, you know, profit, because at the end of the day they want to make a profit on the game. Like, they'll move it back to a time when there aren't that many games coming out. There will still be, because games come out all the time, but like it can have its own sort of corner of time.
Yeah, but there won't be like, as many top tier like triple S like high-end games.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to want to like compete with The Last of Us 2, for example, which comes out at the end of April.
No, definitely not.
I actually don't mind the Cyberpunk delay all that much, because I think it's going to be a fantastic game, and I would rather them, you know, do the best job with it, like complete it as much as possible, or completely, hopefully. But like, I want them to have the best rounded game that they can possibly make.
Yeah, don't rush it just for a deadline.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this gives them, like you said, a lot more space to finish it over the next, what is it, 9 months? 8 months?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they then don't have to face releasing it alongside other big names. So they've got a more clearer market for them to release into.
Yeah. What was the other game that you were thinking of that was been delayed?
The other one was Dying Light 2. And that's been delayed indefinitely. They've not announced another release date. They've just said delayed. We don't know when. And left it at that.
That's a lot less palatable for me, because like an indefinite delay means like there is something fundamentally wrong. Like whether it's like funding or game development or, you know, whatever it is. Yeah. There's an issue and they don't know how to deal with it. Like, if it's a delay for a set amount of time, it's like, we have identified our issues, we know what we're doing, we know how to fix them, you know, blah. But an indefinite delay is just like, okay, we've fucked something up and we don't know how to fix it.
Yeah, it sounds like something like within the company structure-wise is going wrong.
We don't know obviously we don't know what's going on with who makes Dying Light?
It's Techland who made Dead Island 2.
Yeah, I was like, I knew the company. I definitely played their games before. I just couldn't remember which one.
Yeah, me and a bunch of friends played the first one on PC. We didn't get too. I don't know if we got any far with it, because I found it.
Dying Light.
Yeah, Dying Light 1. I found it a little bit like repetitive, and it's got some game mechanics which I'm not a fan of. But the concept of it was really, really good. Like, and you can't get away from a good like horror zombie survival game.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting to see what comes of this delay. See if they have any more announcements for it, or see what happens with it.
We'll see what happens with that one. Hopefully there's not something fundamentally, because like, I'd rather games be released than not, but you know, I hope they don't scrap the project.
Yeah.
It's not my kind of game, to be honest, but like, I know a lot of people are excited for it, so I hope it does get made.
You're not a big zombie fan?
No, I am a big zombie fan, but like, something about that game specifically. I misspoke. It's not that I'm not a fan. It's that game specifically just never captured my attention.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I am a big zombie survival fan. Like, I really like different spins and different takes on zombie survival because it is quite a saturated, market, and it's a saturated genre within gaming. There's a lot of that going on, and I think because I've played a lot of them, like for some reason, I was a bit when I saw the trailer at E3, it just didn't capture my attention in the way that I think a lot of others had, and yeah, I just never picked it up.
Okay.
Maybe I should give it a go. Maybe I'll enjoy it. I don't know. Like this is something I've actually discovered like over the last couple of years about myself, is that I don't play a lot of new games because I don't think I'll like this, and then I'll play a new game and I'll love it, and I'm just like, I'm trying to be more open-minded with what games that I do and don't play.
You're overly cautious with potential new things.
Yeah, like I mean, I've played like a lot of games, but I've played a lot of the same games, and I've played them for a long time. Like I've seen like the desktop on your computer, you have like all of these games, and you've probably tried them all, and I looked at like the sort of hub on my PlayStation, and I have like 6 or 7 games, and some of them are from like 2001, 2002, and I haven't played a new game in... What was the newest game that I played? Probably Horizon Zero Dawn or God of War, which are from like... I mean, God of War is now only 2 years, but like Horizon Zero Dawn is 3 or 4 years. But like that sort of...
Yeah, but there's a difference with console and PC games in that console games tend to be like 30, 40 quid. Whereas a lot of
there is that.
Yeah, a lot of the indie games that I've got on my computer, they're like I say, they're indie games, and they range from like 3 to like 10 quid.
Yeah, that's very true. Also, like a lot of those games that I mentioned that I've played are like long games.
Yeah, they've got long campaigns within them.
Yeah, and a lot of indie games that you could play the entire thing in a sitting. In fact, I know a lot of indie games are actually designed to be played in, because you only get like one life or whatever. Like I was talking to a friend of ours who was playing a game, and you can't quit out or restart or save. There is no save option. You just have to do it all in one sitting.
Okay, so
there's a pause setting, so you could pause, but you can't restart and you can't save.
So like a roguelike kind of game?
Yeah, which is wild to me because I've never really played games like that.
Yeah, but those kind of games, they like put you on the edge of your seat. Like, this is it. This counts.
Oh, I totally understand the aesthetic. Like, I totally get it. I've never really tried them, and that's not because I haven't wanted to. It's just not having the equipment to do so.
Yeah. Well, with PlayStation Plus, you get like 2 free games each month.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. I mean, I've got them both games like downloaded every month since I got PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I got given like a year pass for a birthday or Christmas or something.
Oh, that's cool. What was this month's PlayStation Plus games?
The Nathan Drake collection. Uncharted. Yeah. Really good games, by the way. The Uncharted is a really good gaming series.
I need to download and play them. After Monster Hunter. And then Detroit Become Human.
Oh, I downloaded that as well. I really want to play it. Apparently, it's really good.
It is good. I've got through like a couple of like chapters. Do you want some like a little bit of spoilers on how it works?
Yeah, please.
So you follow 3.
Minor spoiler warning, I suppose, for anyone who's listening.
Okay, yeah. Detroit Beyond Human warning.
Become Human.
Yeah. So you follow the story of 3 androids in their day-to-day life. And this is in a world where androids are created by humans, and then also like feared by like some humans because their androids are taking jobs. They look exactly like humans, and they're like being discriminated against.
Okay.
And you follow these 3 androids in their own particular scenario, and you perform tasks, and wander around the houses and go and interact with things in certain ways. And if you interact with certain things, you might learn a certain thing about like your owner, which will unlock a new like dialogue option or like a new timeline for you to interact with, or may further influence you down the line. Like you might find a weapon in a drawer somewhere, and you'll stash that bit of knowledge away in your head for maybe a later chapter.
Wow.
But yeah, it is really, really, really cool.
All right. Sweet. Well, there you go. That's our couple-minute review of Detroit Become Human, which apparently is very good, which I'm very excited to play. But yeah, just circling all the way back to... what were we talking about before?
Well, the original thing was Dying Light 2 being delayed.
Oh, yeah, and gaming delays. Sorry. Yeah, circling all the way back to that. There's another gaming delay that I read about the other day. Was the Final Fantasy VII remaster.
Okay.
Has been delayed. Like, it's like 3 weeks or something.
Is anything going to get released this year?
Yeah, I mean, at this rate. I mean, it started with The Last of Us, right? It got delayed from February to, like, the end of April.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, the issue with Final Fantasy VII was, like a software conversion issue, which is not something they could have like done anything about realistically. Like, it's a lengthy process, taking a PlayStation 1 game, taking the content, remaking it for like PS4 modern age design stuff, right? And yeah, like it's 3 weeks. Like people are like up in arms about this thing. So, oh, we waited for no, like it's 3 weeks. Just stop being, just yeah. Like there are plenty other games to play. You'll be fine. It's like delayed from like, it was like the 10th of February to like the end of February. It's like, or like the first week of March or something. It's really nothing. But like a lot of people are just like, we did our waiting. 12 years. Luke quotes Harry Potter, lol.
Again.
Hey, have I done that already?
Yeah, you've done it.
No. I'm repeating my own jokes. God damn it. But yeah, like, what are they gonna do? Like, it is what it is, and I'm fine with it. It just means it's the game I'll buy at the end of February, because I'm trying to limit myself to like a game a month. Like, because I mean, this year there are at least 4 games that I will definitely buy: Cyberpunk, The Last of Us 2, Final Fantasy VII Remastered, and thing I'm at the end of the year. The Marvel game, the Endgame Avengers game.
Oh yeah.
I think it's going to be on the Switch though.
Have you got a Switch now? Did you buy thingies? Or
No,
did you buy your own?
I got my own. I got it for Christmas.
Okay.
It was like my only Christmas present. Like my family and my friends like all sort of chipped in for it.
Okay, I thought you borrowed someone's. But anyway,
I borrowed Alex's copy of Pokemon Sword. No, Pokemon Shield, sorry. Maybe that's what I spoke about. Oh, speaking of Pokemon, did we talk about the Pokemon DLC?
We have done.
We have done. Perfect. I couldn't remember. I had it in my notes as, like, Pokemon DLC, and I couldn't remember if we spoke about it last week or not. Or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. When did we last record? Was it last week? It was last Monday, right?
Let's have a quick look. It was episode 3, 11th of the 1st.
13 days, yeah, last Monday.
Is when
wow!
Is when this thing was, well, my editing file was created.
Wow! We're getting real good at this. Streamlining this process.
Yeah.
It's
only taken us like 2 months.
Yeah. Christmas, you fickle bitch.
Yeah.
Getting in the way of everyone's plans.
Yeah, but I've now figured everything out and streamlined it so that I can pretty much I can pretty much play it and edit it like a few seconds behind.
Nice. Wow.
Pretty much. But if there's any like visual shit or anything like that, then he's creating that too. That'll take like an hour.
Yeah, that's fair.
But hopefully it looks good and people like it.
I think the graphics and the visuals look great, personally. But then I'm a bit biased, so... Hey, can I talk to you about something real quick? Like, sort of off topic, but it's really been fucking me up the last, like... Okay. You know how when you take a shower, like, it's
Okay, where's this going?
Okay, just relax. You know how when you're having a shower, it is like the pinnacle of time for having epiphanies. Like, you have your greatest epiphanies in the shower. That is just unrefutable fact, right?
Yeah.
I had an epiphany earlier while I was taking a shower. And it's fucking me up because I can't shake the feeling that you and I are now technically YouTubers.
I'd say
hear me out.
Okay, go on.
Hear me out. There is an entire market on YouTube for audio only, and they are technically considered YouTubers.
Okay, well, if we fit
so
that
by that
criteria,
metric,
technically yes.
Yeah, you and I are technically YouTubers. Which has been really like, I'm just like, what?
I think that's a bit of a stretch, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it is a stretch. And, you know, maybe if this gains popularity and whatever, like, it will become less of a stretch. But, like...
Yeah, if the viewership gets, like, double figures, then yes.
Yeah. Episode 1 had nearly 100 views, right?
Nearly.
Yeah. It had, like, 78 the last time I checked.
It had a fairly good looking at.
Yeah. But I just thought about that in the shower, and I was like, "Oh shit!" All right, cool.
I bet that was a pretty good, like, motivational kick.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I couldn't remember what time we said we were going to record today, right? So I set my alarm for 2:00, and I was like, "That's a good time." And then I woke up to your text being like, "I'm guessing you're still asleep," and I was like, "Oh fuck! I guess we said we'd record earlier. Whoops, my bad."
No, I couldn't remember.
No,
like I was gonna wake up a little bit earlier because I knew I was like towards the end of editing last week's episode, so I thought I could get that done with. And I didn't know if I couldn't remember if we had said a time.
I'm gonna be totally transparent with you. I completely forgot that we said we were going to record today until this early hours of this morning, and then I remembered, and I was like, shit.
Heck.
No. Oh, dang.
Oh, dear.
So that was at about 6:00 this morning, and I was like, all right, cool. I'll set my alarm for 2:00, because that's 8 hours from now. That'll be fine. And then nobody put me on blast for going to bed at 6 a.m, please. Oh, speaking of putting things on blast, actually, Luke is going to rant for a second, so everyone strap in. All right.
Buckle up.
So, Square Enix, very well loved gaming developer. They've made some of my favorite games in the world, Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, all those fucking great titles. So, I was watching someone play not Kingdom Hearts. Final Fantasy VI, which is a game from 1996 or 1997. I always forget. However, it's a good game. However, there is a section of the game where you have to infiltrate this like palace, and then there's like a ballroom scene, and it's all very visual, and like it's all a big thing. However, the accompanying soundtrack is a track called Dancing Mad, which is like a 10-minute track of what I can only assume is the fever dream of someone on crack, because, right, it starts off, as you would expect, like Final Fantasy, it's got like a ballroom, like, sort of motif, like, sounds to it, it's like very soft and dancey, blah, 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 blah. And then there's a tonal shift, and there's an organ playing, and it's all very, like, theatrical and all very, like, upbeat and, like, kind of put you on the edge of your seat. And then it comes to the end of the organ section. Now, this is the part that I'm putting people on blast. After an organ plays, what would be your next logical step musically? What would you play next? Because I guarantee you it's not what they put in Dancing Mad, because in that, the very next thing they do is there is a bass guitar solo. after an organ solo, which is then subsequently followed by the hardest rock, like, think Dragon Force style guitar solo after a bass solo. This is in a Final Fantasy game, right? And I have to imagine that the composer of this specific track was actually on drugs, because this shit is so wild to listen to. The way it, like, jumps from, like, thing to thing, and then, right at the end, it circles all the way back around to the sort of piano-y, organ-y, like, super theatrical, like, orchestral style. This is after, like, Dragon Force style guitar solo, and it's absolutely fucking bonkers. I was having, like, a mind trip listening to this earlier. I was like, what the hell is this? Don't get me wrong, it's not bad. It's actually really awesome. It's really cool to listen to. But, like, logically, to, like, follow, like, a logical progression from A to B, it's like, we're gonna go from A to fucking P, we're gonna skip all the other letters, because fuck all them, and then we're gonna circle all the way back to A. And it's just like, what?
It's like cool if you're not really listening to it, but if you listen to it, it's like, what? It's like as soon as you pay attention, that's when it fucks you up.
Yeah, exactly that. And it's just like, I've never played Final Fantasy VI, right? But I can imagine the people who have played that game are like, yeah, if you play the game, this is perfectly fine. Like, this all makes sense contextually. Maybe it does. But if you just hear that piece of music out of context, and it's just like, what the fuck? it's a fucking trip, man. It's wild. But yeah, that's my miniature Square Enix slash putting Nobuo Uematsu on blast for his crazy music compositions.
Music is
sorry. I was thinking about that earlier. I wanted to like just rant. I wanted to rant about it because it was so
was that
wild.
Another shower rant.
I did listen to music in the shower, and I did hear it in the shower, but, like, no, I've been thinking about this for weeks, because the first time I heard it was a while ago, and I just keep forgetting, and then I remembered, like, that I listened to it in the shower, and then my brain was like, the thing, talk about the thing.
Do you do a thing where you're doing something else, say, like, you're reading or walking somewhere, and you time it by the amount of songs that you've listened to?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. This is like, okay, this walk is a Dragon Force song and a Linkin Park song, which, you know, in real terms is like about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But
so it's like, I'm halfway through the album right now. I should be at this roundabout.
Yeah. Absolutely. 100%. You're not a big Final Fantasy fan, are you?
I've not really played it. I've not, like...
I feel like it's one of those gaming franchises that either you've not really played or you've played all of it.
Yeah, either you're like... you know of it, but you don't play it, or you know everything about it.
Yeah, so I fall into category number 2. I have played all of them apart from 1, 2, and 3, because they were made on consoles that I never owned. In the 80s and 90s, late 80s, early 90s. I think the first one came out on, like, the Sega Genesis or something?
Oh, wow. That's an old boy.
Yeah. Anyway, so I've played everything from... I've not played Final Fantasy IV, but I watched someone play all of Final Fantasy, so I know the entire story. And I've played everything from 5 to 15, apart from 11 and 14, because they're MMOs on computer. So they are numbered titles, but they're not like part of the main franchise because they're slightly separate. They have their own like campaigns and story within them, but because they're MMOs, I never played them because I never owned anything that could. Womp womp womp. Luke's poor.
Rip.
But I've played all the others, and I was recently replaying Final Fantasy X, which is my favorite of them. It was the first one they ever did on PS2. It was like the launch title for PS2, or one of the launch titles for PS2. And then they remastered it for PS4 a few years ago, and I've been replaying the remastered version, and there's an option in the game to play the original score or the remastered score, and I was like kind of swapping between the two just to see the difference. And I was like, the original score, which was made in like 2000, it was made in like 2000, 2001 or something, was so good that I tried playing the game in with the remastered score, and I couldn't get into it as much because I was like expecting it to sound a certain way, and it was so different that I was like, it was taking me out of the game a little bit. So I put it back to the original score and like heard the original sounds, and I was like, that's an incredible achievement within a game, to draw you into a game just with music alone. And this is true of like I've found of a lot of media. Like if you think of like really successful films, games, even like music itself, if it like sort of takes you out of that moment, or sorry, if it takes you out of whatever it is you're doing and puts you in that moment, like so specifically that you're actually thinking about it. Because I listen to music a lot, right? Like it is not uncommon for me to have a headphone and listen to music, even in social situations, because that's just how I roll. Like I was so enthralled and captured by the music from Final Fantasy X that when it changed, I wasn't enjoying the game as much. And that, for me, is like the pinnacle of a composition for a game. Like if something can do that with just its music alone, that's an incredible achievement to me. So yeah, I just wanted to, because I downloaded on Spotify, I downloaded like the entire Final Fantasy X soundtrack, and I was listening to it the other day, and I was like inspired by listening to it to replay the game, because I have like a few saves. I've got like one that's like late game, I have one that's early game, like blah blah, and I was just like playing bits, and yeah, I was like messing around with some stuff, and I was like, God, the soundtrack is good.
Yeah, music has a lot of like music makes or breaks something.
Yeah, I am honestly of the opinion that The Lord of the Rings would not have been as good as it was without the accompanying soundtrack.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%.
Because if you think about it, this is actually true of a lot of films, right? If you think about some of the most popular films over the last, let's say, 50 years, like, they have an associating soundtrack, or there is a piece of music that you will hear and you can immediately associate it with that film. You think of the Imperial March, or the opening credit scenes for Star Wars, right? You hear those, you know immediately that's Star Wars. If you hear Concerning Hobbits, or, you know, the March of the Uruk-hai, or like any of those pieces of music, that's Lord of the Rings. Like, I think music will, like you say, make or break, or absolutely turn something good into something great.
Yeah, because if it's like just a little bit out of place, you can tell.
Yeah.
But if you're like this is definitely true within the film world. When I learnt film at university, that music makes whatever you're working on 1,000 times better and 1,000 times more believable.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I mean, I don't know about you, but I listen to soundtracks a lot. And if it's a film soundtrack and I can follow the scene in my head and know exactly what's going on from the film just by hearing the music, which I absolutely can with Lord of the Rings. Like, there's a lot to be said about the fact that I've seen it so many times, but I can hear a piece of music from Lord of the Rings and be like, that's this scene from this film. And I'm starting to get that way with Final Fantasy X, because I listened to the soundtrack a lot recently, and I'm like, okay, that's this bit from that part of the game. And I'm being vague on purpose, because I don't want to give away spoilers or anything for anyone who is interested in playing these games. But yeah, like, music is such an important part of any media, or any, like, film or game or whatever. Like, yeah, I'm ranting, but, like, it's something I was just thinking of the other day when I was like, oh, we should talk about music within gaming, and with not just gaming, because, like, it's also very true of film. I actually forgot that you studied film at university.
Yeah, 3 years of it, and it feels so long ago now.
Yeah, you're finally making use of it, making this.
like to a degree. Like,
well, yeah, no, I'm being facetious, but yeah. Oh, another thing we talk about: the Kingdom Hearts DLC came out yesterday. Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC.
yeah. Remind.
Yeah. And there have been the first like reviews posted online for it on Twitter the other day. It was like yesterday evening or possibly early hours of this morning. And apparently it's very good. So there's that, which I am.
Have you already
I'm pleased.
Have you like pre-bought it, or are you?
No,
waiting?
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I don't know. I can't really afford it. And I don't think I'll be able to afford it at the end of the month. If any of our lovely listeners want to donate to our Patreon... No, I'm joking. That was a joke. That was a joke.
No, we don't have a Patreon.
We don't have a Patreon. My OnlyFans, though. Lol.
Come on, Luke. Don't deprive yourself to that.
Hey, man. It's tough times out here. Man's got to play games. I was actually talking to a friend of ours about this, and they were just like, Luke, just sell feet pics online. It's fine. It's not that whorish, and you'll make money. And I was like, do you hear yourself?
I'm not gonna lie. I've been told that as well.
Yeah.
It's like, where is this market?
But yeah, I would love to get it, but just with like living stuff, I probably won't get it for a while. I know my housemate's gonna get it, but he's gonna get it as download only. So unless he brings, although,
well, housemate.
Yeah, if he downloads it to his profile, can he download his profile on my PlayStation? Is that how that works?
Maybe.
Unless I game share with him, like you do with one of our other, like, because you get to just play whatever games each other has, right?
Yeah.
How does that work?
I think it. Oh no, is that no? I know Steam Share does that. You can share your library, but if the owner of the game is playing that game, you can't play the same game.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Well, I'm just thinking.
I don't know if it works with PlayStation along the same lines, because we all play Monster Hunter Iceborne all together. And I get that from the PlayStation game library share thing.
I might have to speak to him about it, because I mean, if we can, then I can play when he's at work, because our schedules are very different. And he doesn't play when because he only is in Reading a few days a week. He only plays when he's back home. Interesting. But yeah. Do you want to tell our lovely audience about the adventures we've had in Monster Hunter recently?
So we're progressing through. So there's a game called Monster Hunter World. They've a DLC for it called Iceborne came out
middle of last year, September.
Yeah, middle of last year. I think it's only just released on PC for this month. But yeah, we've been progressing through it at like different speeds. Like, one of our friends pretty much completed it like within the first week, I think.
Yeah.
And me, you, and our fourth member of our party have like been slowly like limping our way through. I think I'm in last place still, because I've got
Have you finished the campaign now?
I did the Kushala, not Kushala,
Kushala Day. No, the Shara Ishvalda.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the last campaign boss. Like everything after that is like post game.
Yeah, I've not progressed any further than that because I've not been on since, because I've been otherwise engaged, and we've had like.
Yeah, I mean, I've not. I find Monster Hunter a lot more fun to play with people than I do on my own. So
yeah, I kind of like enjoy both, because one, like with people, is really really fun to like take down these big monsters as part of a team. But then I think I do need some time away to like build my own like sets, because my set of armor at the minute, all my weapons and what I wear, all focuses towards like stacking my health up so I can like regenerate health and have as much
You are basically
HP.
building frontline tank, essentially.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But I next want to build a part breaker set.
Yeah.
That when you're fighting these monsters, if you break certain parts of them, they drop specific items which are then needed to make specific things.
Yeah. It's Friday, isn't it?
It is Friday.
Ooh, yeah, cool. Probably going to be playing tonight because I don't think Alex is working. I'm going to text him and find out.
Oh, but yeah, I'm looking to build a part breaker set next, which I need to sit for 3 hours and look through all the armor.
Oh, that's the thing, right? Like, there's so much, and it takes a while to sort of sift through all of the crap. I know what my new set is, but it involves grinding Shara Ishvalda because I need 6 things from it. The armor set for the Shara is really cool though. Whenever you're wearing your
doesn't it have isn't it Gaia's touch or whatever it is?
Gaia's perfect.
Gaia's perfect world or whatever.
Yeah, some shit like that. Basically, whenever you're wearing a mantle, you get max resistance to stuns, knockbacks, and carting.
Oh, that's cool.
Sorry, tremor resistance, carting, and stuns, and roars. It's all 4 of them. All the things that would otherwise disable your ability to move is completely nullified.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, it's because that's the thing. When I'm fighting, I find myself getting knocked all the time. So I'm all right, cool. I'll just wear this crazy good armor. Yeah. Monster Hunter World is really fun to play with friends, I think. It's it's my first real foray into an RPG game like that. Cuz no, it's not, but it's my most recent foray into an RPG that I've really put in time. I checked my playtime, it was over 200 hours, and I was
Can you check on the PlayStation?
Yeah, I mean, when you log in, it has a playtime on the load when you hit load game.
Oh, on the character selection.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a playtime, and mine's it's 195 hours or something like that.
That's cool. I'll have to have a look because I know you can do it. With
I don't know
Steam
how much of that is just sort of being AFK with the game open.
Yeah, how much of it is actually fighting monsters and how much of it is fiddling with armor and shit between?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like a ratio 1-4 with that, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Do you have anything that you want to talk about?
Well, should we do another dice roll?
Yeah, sure. All right. So I'll roll a d6. Anything from 2 to 6. If I roll a 1, I'll re-roll. I rolled a 5, which was another one of your topics.
It is. It's this one. This one is so this one is called The End of the World.
Okay.
Looking at how Australia is fire incarnate at the minute.
Yeah. It is just fire.
And what's the China virus called that's coming over?
Oh Christ! Yeah, I heard about that on Twitter. I don't know what it's called, but I heard about it.
The coronavirus.
Yeah, that's it.
Which when I heard, I thought, what's beer got to do with it?
Yeah, I just remember what I saw about it. It was on Twitter. It was some dumb goof, and it was I'm still waiting for someone to make jokes about the coronavirus with a bottle of Corona, and then someone commented, it was I was looking for new content on TikTok. It's bruh.
But it seems like this is going. This start of the year is really trying to eradicate or bring forward a plague or some kind of humanity destroying event.
So I have a theory on this, right? It's like we've spent the last however many years like destroying the world, and now the world's like, all right, I'm done with that. I'm sick of y'all, and it's like it's just destroying us right back. Like it's like a self-defense mechanism for like the Earth is to like wipe out a section of the population. And I'm not joking as well. I'm not like making light of the fact that a lot of people have died. Like I'm not being an ass. I genuinely think that like if you believe in that kind of the nature of how things are and like the equal exchange of life, then I genuinely think that the world is paying back all of the shit that we've done to it with equally bad stuff.
It's like someone's actually playing Plague Inc.
IRL
with us.
And
like Lorna's been watching Doomsday Preppers recently. Like this was just before the coronavirus like hit the headlines, and I've been sat there like laughing, like how ridiculous is all this? Like nothing's ever going to happen, and now I'm thinking I might have to go back and rewatch some of that.
Yeah, let me just go get some.
Let's get some tips and pointers.
So, do you know of the Doomsday Clock?
Yeah. I know of it. I don't really fully understand what it is.
So the Doomsday Clock is like it's a clock that moves closer to midnight, and when it when the minute hand reaches midnight, it's said to be doomsday, the end of the world. For the longest time, and I do mean like a long time. I don't know exactly how long, but many years. It's been sat at 2 minutes to midnight, so at 120 seconds. And yesterday, it moved for the first time to 20 seconds closer, so it's now at 100 seconds to midnight. And everyone's like up in arms about this, like, the end of the world is coming, with all the fires and the plagues and the wars and all of this shit happening. And it's just like, it really does feel like the world is moving towards what I would call something like a reckoning. Like something will happen.
Like an extinction level event, or
maybe not extinction, but there will be a massive cull of living things on our planet. And I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it is definitely going to happen. I think probably within our lifetime. And I think we're heading towards that, and we're accelerating it by all of the actions of the things that we do. And it's kind of terrifying, really, because on one hand, like, I don't want bad things to happen, but on the other hand, I know that they're necessary, probably. So I hope that I am an optimist, and my hope is that at some point something will break bad, and then people will come together as a result, and things will change. That is my hope for humanity. But realistically, that probably won't happen, and it'll suck for a while, but I think afterwards things will be better. I think.
I hope.
Well, yeah, we can only hope, exactly.
Right, let's roll the dice again and hope that we have a better topic.
Hey man, that was your topic. Let's see if we get one of my topics. Alright, it's 2. It is one of my topics. Alright. So, Oh. Okay, well, it's not going to be that one, it's going to be the other one, because we already spoke about Remind. I forgot that I put it on my top. Alright, so the topic is League of Legends, and today is the start of the 2020 season for the League of Legends European World Championships, which I am very excited about, because, obviously, me being a League fan and, requiring source material for our D&D campaign. It's always good when the European Championships start, because you get a first look at all the teams and like who's looking good, who's looking terrible. Are G2 still going to dominate the entire series, the entire season? Like what's going on and whatever. But more than that, since the end of last season, they have introduced like 3 or 4 new champions who are all looking like quite strong. One of them, so he's called Set, and he is, without a doubt, he's called, like, his moniker is the boss, and he's a mob boss, right? And he looks like if you were to combine the Vastaya are like these fox-like creatures. They're like human-fox hybrid creatures. He looks like if you were to combine the prettiest of all of them and put it into one Vastaya man who is like a shirtless, like, godlike creature who is also like, you know, when you see depictions of like people who are like, what's the word? Who are like effortlessly lazy. They're kind of like lounge in their chair, like one leg off of the arm, like they've got their side of their like face in one hand, like smiling like they're cocky and they're confident.
You're just describing you right now.
Hey, listen, man, this dude, I want to be this dude. He is fucking cool. Like, he is. Yeah, exactly. He is me, and I think I love him. I like a little bit, but yeah, he looks like really strong, and I'm excited to see like him in professional play because it's a different game to the game that everyone else plays because it's so much more team based. But I mean, the problem with things like this, right, is that it's a bit one sided because you don't play League or haven't really played League. You play our League D&D campaign, but the sort of nuances and the specifics of the game are a bit, it's one-sided to talk about. But I just wanted to hype up the fact that the LEC was back, to be honest, and I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, it's something you're going to be like up all hours of the night one. It's not going to change your sleeping habit at all.
No, not in the slightest. My plan for today is to, after we're done, go and make food, watch LEC. When that's done, play Monster Hunter till 6 in the morning.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's my plan for the day. And then tomorrow is wrestling in the evening, which is going to be fun.
Oh, yeah, you've got, is it Raw? WWE Raw?
It's the Royal Rumble this weekend. Yay. It's my favorite, like, wrestling event of the year.
Is it like, wrestling is, as far as I understand it, it's like one big, like soap drama between the wrestlers.
Oh, for sure. Like,
with organised, like, just fights?
Yeah, more or less.
So who's it between on this Rumble? Or is it, how does this Rumble
there
work?
are like there are a lot of matches. There are like 6 or 7 matches, including the Royal Rumble match, which is a 30-person. There are 2. There's the women's and the men's. There's 30-person over the top rope battle royale. Basically, the only way you eliminate people by tossing them over the top rope. And I think it's like every minute and a half, someone new gets introduced. So you go from 1 to 30. Yeah, someone new gets introduced at every minute and a half until all 30 members are there, and then the last one standing wins a opportunity for a title match at WrestleMania, which is like the wrestling equivalent of the Super Bowl, essentially. It's a long running tradition.
It sounds like chaos having 30 people.
Well, the thing is, like, you can eliminate people before all 30 are in the ring. So you, like, say you're number 1, number 2 comes in, you toss them out immediately. You're just sort of waiting for the next person. Like, it is absolute chaos when there are, like, 10 people in the ring. Like, but it's really good fun watching. Yeah,
It sounds like it. It sounds like someone made that in a video game first. Then, like, the show creators went, hey, hang on, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I know there's a lot of our friends that have, like, booked the day off to watch it, especially.
It me.
It you.
It me. And our other Monster Hunter party member.
Oh, yeah, it is. He's booked it off, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, he's coming here to watch it.
Oh yeah, maybe you say.
Yerp. So I'm just on Twitter, just like reading, like just stuff. Oh, have you seen this new meme going around, which is 4 pictures of the same person, and it's like your LinkedIn profile picture, and then your Facebook, Instagram, and then Tinder?
Oh yeah,
Have you seen this? Oh my god, I have seen some absolutely hilarious ones on Instagram. I saw one with Mark Hamill's on Instagram, and his Instagram picture was like him from like 1970 or 1980 something, with like suspenders on, and he's like pulling them out and like, I'm a cool nerd. And it's just like, oh god, some of them are fucking genius.
Wow.
Yeah, but like his LinkedIn. Oh, okay. His LinkedIn one is just a picture of him as old man Mark Hamill as Jedi Master.
I saw IGN's, and their Tinder thing was like, hi, hey, we play video games, watch films, and do stuff. Cool. Want to play Smash?
Nice. Oh, that's really good. I like that.
But yeah, I've only just seen that this morning.
Yeah. I was on Instagram like a lot last night, and yeah, I just kept seeing different ones, and some of them are fucking genius. I just saw an advert for KFC, and now I want KFC. I'm so hungry. Also, quick call out to our good friend Alex, who is a little bitch for buying pizza and then putting the idea of pizza in your fucking head, and then y'all got pizza and I'm out here stuck with no fucking pizza. I'm still mad, and that was a week ago. I'm still mad.
I can't say anything. I am, yeah, that's red-handed.
You fuckers. Every time I think about pizza, I'm just like, I still haven't had pizza, and I still want it. This has been a week now. I've actually spoken about all my dice roll topics. If there's anything else you want to talk about, just feel free, because I've spoken a lot this time.
Well, we've covered all my topics. Unfortunately, I only had 3.
Yeah, I mean, I only had 3 as well. One of them I actually spoke about without rolling, because I'm a professional, obviously. Oh, actually, this is something very cool. You know, My Chemical Romance got back together. I know you're not like a massive My Chemical Romance fan.
Yeah,
but,
they played in Milton Keynes recently.
Yeah, they're doing a second show in June for Milton Keynes. That's what I was going to say.
I thought it was Nottingham. Or am I? Being...
according to Twitter, it's Milton Keynes. The UK show, Milton Keynes, June 20th, on sale now. They went on sale this morning. It's probably already sold out. Yeah, they had to add a second show.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, the first one. Oh, so they didn't play. It all went on sale this morning. And the 20th of June was sold out like almost immediately. So they added a second show the next night. That's very cool.
It is very cool. It's been a long awaited like return for them.
Yeah, I mean they broke up 8 years ago or something, so that's very cool for them. Yeah, there's not a lot. Oh, actually, there is a game I want to talk to you about, because I think, honestly, like, if I had a decent rig, it would be a game that you and I would play all the time. Have you heard of Escape from Tarkov?
Escape from Tarkov?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've heard it's like Rust, PUBG kind of
it is
aesthetic and graphics.
So it is it is a hyper realistic shooter. But it's like it's like a hyper realistic shooter RPG game where you load into a map, you get 1 life, and you go in, you do a raid, you get loot, whatever, and you have to try and make it out with said loot. And obviously there are like there are like online markets that you can like put your stuff on sale for, and you make money. You can buy better weapons, blah 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 blah. So RPG style, right? But like when I say hyper realistic, I mean like the enemies that you have in the game can hear you, like when you unload a mag and you like that sound, that sort of cocking sound that you make when you unload a mag and then re-put it in. They can hear that. When you ADS and you like move your shoulder, they can hear that. They can hear like with you can get like headsets and stuff in game that like advance your hearing so that you can hear like people sneaking footsteps and stuff. It is like so detailed. And I was thinking about this the other day when I was watching people stream it the last few days, and I was like, playing this game I feel like would be the kind of thing that you and I would play all the time if I had because I know that you like that sort of uber strategy, like very slow paced, high risk high reward kind of game, like R6 and PUBG and those kind of games.
Yeah, definitely the one that like has you on the edge of your seat, like listening out for like a tick's fart in the next room.
Exactly, and it is absolutely that. And it's currently in beta. I don't think it's very expensive. However, the requirements for the game are pretty high. It's like you could probably run it like if you were to make space on your computer. Like I feel like you'd be able to run it pretty well. Obviously, I can't, but I now very much want to be able to save to get myself a computer that can actually play the game, because it looks so addictive. Because the amount of times that like you'll get out with good stuff compared to the amount of times that you will die and get because that's the thing, when you die, anything you had that you've looted or you took into the raid with, you lose immediately. It's dead. You lose all of it. And it is so high risk, high reward. It looks so addictive. I really, really, really want to play it, like, a lot. Like, watching people stream it, and it's like, people, like, have their face, like, in their monitor, like, literally, like, as close as they can be, like, listening for absolutely every single thing. Like, trying to... Because it's dark as well. The game aesthetically is quite a dark game. Apart from when you're in the outside bits. But, like, a lot of the indoor environment is a very dark aesthetic to make it more difficult to see other players to get kills and stuff. Because it's not... You can go through raids, like 3 or 4 raids, not a single kill. Just picking up loot from other people who have got killed. Because there are also NPC raiders called... They're just called raiders. But they can kill each other and kill players. And you can just, like, find loot. You can go into a raid and, like... It's also BR style, right? So there is, like, loot on the ground. So you can, like, randomly spawned loot. But there's, like, so much stuff. There's, like, guns... like, I can't go into the amount of detail there is. And absolutely every single thing... Like, you can strip a gun down for its stock, its sight, all of the bullets within the magazine, all of it, and sell it all. And it all sells for different stuff. And each gun has, like, different types of ammunition. So there's, like, armor-piercing rounds and normal rounds and blah, 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 blah. And they're all, like, different. They all vary in their effectiveness against, like, certain enemies and certain types of armor. You can get, like, face shields for your helmets and stuff to protect against, like, being headshot, although those helmets are like hella expensive, right? Because they're better and stuff like that. And you can find like keys to lock doors in certain maps on other maps, and it's all like within the same world. It's all set in Russia. And yeah, it's fucking hectic. I would thoroughly recommend. There's a YouTuber, well, he's a streamer, but there's a YouTube series called Beginner's Tarkov. It's by a streamer called Dr. Lupo.
Okay.
And it's like an intro to Escape from Tarkov, where he runs a lot of his friends through like how to play the game. Because he was one of the first like big streamers on Twitch to pick it up, pick up the game and stuff. And then in the last sort of month or two, like its popularity has just like expanded dramatically. Now, like some of the biggest streamers on the platform, like Doctor Disrespect and Summit and Lyric and all of those massive streamers, are all playing Escape from. It's like the new big thing on Twitch, because I think everyone is sort of burnt out of Fortnite, and it's like we want like a replacement BR, but also it's like an RPG as well. So it's like it's ticking all of these boxes for a lot of players, and you know, there's people who are like only ever play Fortnite because whatever. But like this game, just it looks so good and it looks so cool that I'm like, I really want to play this game.
I'll have to give it a look. Because
Yeah.
if it ticks the same box that PUBG did for me, then I would probably be in it a lot.
Yeah,
Because I really
thought-
enjoyed the hyperrealism of like listening out
Yeah.
to all the movement and
like
all the
it's
and
so
that
distinct. You can hear the
hyperrealism.
difference between people who are taking footsteps on wood and taking footsteps on metal and taking footsteps on concrete. Like there are different sound cues for each type of footstep.
Nice. So you got some good environmental sounds.
Yeah. It's I thoroughly recommend watching Dr. Lupo's like tutorial videos on stuff. It's like a series on his channel, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I've been watching him. I've been watching him for ages. Like he's my favorite streamer, but I've been watching him stream Tarkov over the last few months, and it's so addictive.
Who have I been watching recently? I've been watching. There's a group called Hat Films.
Okay.
They did a big old stream of this game called Raft, which is a game that you load into this world. You are on this raft in this ocean that's floating along, and there's debris like wood and like leaves and bits of shit in the ocean that you reel in with your hook, and you like expand your raft out and try and survive.
Okay.
And there is a little like story element to it, but they're using it as like just something in the background so that they can like just chat about stuff and just be themselves, which I find just really, really fun to have in the background of me doing other stuff. Because every now and then they get like deep and philosophical about stuff, and although they sound like idiots, they've got really good like varied views that you find yourself like agreeing with, or like I wouldn't have considered that.
Yeah. That's fair.
So
That sounds
they've got like a good juxtaposition of being utter goobuses to having like deep philosophical conversations.
Yeah, that's fair. What did you say the name of the channel was?
They're called Hat Films, or I think they're called Hat Gaming now.
Oh, okay.
I think they've changed it to Hat Gaming because I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I think they're Hat Gaming.
Okay. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I'll have to send you like a stream or two or some videos that they're really good with, because they also played Rainbow Six, and Smithy, one of them, does airsoft in like his spare time as a hobby, and that like translates really, really well when they play Siege, because he's able to have that mindset and like talk effectively and communicate effectively to the other two.
Okay. Nice. All right. Oh.
Maybe we should like throw this out to the audience. So I had an idea of so there are these books, these like choose your own adventure like fighting fantasy books, which are like you read through them and you read through them from the eyes of an adventurer, and the book will say, if you want to go down the left corridor, turn to page 203. If you want to go down the right corridor, turn to page 6. And I've got a bunch of these, and I was thinking about taking Luke through one of them for an episode. And I wondered if, one, you'd be up for it, Luke, and two, if our audience would be interested in listening to that.
I mean, yeah, I'm super down for it. If that is something people want to hear, then yeah, get in contact with us, because I'd be hella up. I love choose your own adventure stuff. Like, it's something that I used to read a lot as a kid, actually, and I would always die in them.
Same. Out of all the books that I've got, I've only done one of them, as in, like, I've only, like, beaten one of them, not done one of them. I've only beaten one of them.
Yeah. That tracks.
And the amount of like page holding you do.
Yeah.
Like, you hold like the past 2 pages you were on, just so you can backtrack that way. Or unless you go like iron mode and you just flick to the page. But I've always gone easy mode and tried to go back a couple of pages. But yeah, if that's something that you guys would like to listen to, maybe for like a standalone podcast, we could try and do that. Well, see how long it is. See if Luke gets 15 minutes in and dies.
I'll die to a Yeti for sure. Like, that's just irrefutable. I will die to a Yeti because I am... Oh, shush, phone. Sorry, my phone is beeping at me angrily. Yes,
Professional.
I am a professional. I know you need charge. Relax. Yeah, I'm just sort of scrolling through various socials to see if there's any topics worth talking about. Not really seeing much, to be honest. Like you say, it's been a bit of a... Okay, so for me personally, it's been pretty hectic, because I've had a lot of, like, stuff going on, like life stuff. But, yeah, like, actual information... There's not a lot. Oh, actually, there is something I wanted to talk to you about. So, and this is actually, it's actually relevant to our podcast, because it's about gaming, kind of, a little bit. So, have you heard about the Super Nintendo world that is being opened up at Universal Orlando?
No.
So, they're basically making a Mario Kart / Super Mario Brothers section of Universal at... It's going to be called Super Nintendo World.
Like a
where
theme
like
park?
they'll have like like theme park, but like you can go in and do like Mario Kart style go-kart racing. There's going to be like Super Mario World stuff like all over the place. It just looks like hella dope. Where they've basically got a partnership with
like Universal Studios,
Nintendo and Universal, yeah, and. It looks super dope.
Looking at an article now on it, while there aren't yet many details about the attraction, it will have 2 rides along with games, merch and food, according to Comcast. The 2 rides will be a Super Mario ride and an attraction called Yoshi's Adventures. Expected to open in 2023, this says.
Yep, it's very cool.
I'm surprised that hasn't like been a thing already.
Yeah, so am I.
No one's made like a Mario Kart themed world, because that could be so easily made,
easily marketed,
and easily marketed. Like,
right. I think that's a pretty good. Okay, well, your mic keeps cutting out, and I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah, so this will be coming to the end of the episode. Thank you everyone for listening. If you got to the end of the podcast, at the end of the episode, give yourself a congratulatory pat on the back from both of us. Get in contact with us and let us know if choose your own adventure story, me running through it absolutely badly, that is just guaranteed. It'll be funny as hell. Let us know if that's something you guys want to hear. And leave us some feedback, as always, because we love it. Well, I love it. I don't know about Ben, but I love it. I love reading your guys' comments, and you like when you come up and talk to me about stuff. I'm really always enamored to hear what you guys have to say. And thank you for listening. I need a better ending than that. That was awful. Ben, help me out here.
Come on, you can do better than that.
All right, you do it then, funny guy.
All right, so thank you very, very much to our audience who listen so dearfully and with such adoration. And thank you to all your comments that Luke receives and I receive, and any praise and criticisms is welcome. This is episode 4 now, is it?
Sure is.
This has been episode 4. If you have any comments, whether you'd like to hear that Choose Your Own Adventure special podcast for Luke, leave us a comment below, or tell Luke in person,
or just get in contact with us.
Yeah, just get in contact.
You have our socials.
Yeah, you'll have our socials stamped at the end.
DM me on what's funny, MySpace. I just remembered I took a selfie the other day, and someone, I think it might have actually been Lorna, commented. They were like, "You look like a boomer emo."
Is this the same one you sent me?
Yeah, it's 100% true. I do look like a boomer emo, but like I
1,000% true.
Couldn't stop laughing. It was so funny. I was so pleased. I really wanted to like make it my profile picture and just have the caption "boomer emo."
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not even a boomer either. I'm like 2 generations removed from being a boomer, but at the same time, it was funny as hell. Anyway, that's the end of the podcast. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.